Hello again, dearest royal watchers, and thank you for joining me for another intimate stroll down Kensington Palace's most whispered about corridors. Brew a soothing cup of Darjeeling, keep the tissues at hand and settle in, because tonight we're pulling back the velvet curtain on a quiet goodbye that's shaking the very foundations of the Princess of Wales's inner world. While the public was still dazzled by tiaras at the French state banquet, an emotional earthquake rumbled behind the scenes. Natasha Tash Archer, confidante, stylist, fixer, and honorary big sister to Princess Catherine, is leaving after 15 extraordinary years. Why does a single resignation matter? Because when a future queen loses the woman who dressed her, calmed her, and literally carried her secrets in the trunk of a Range Rover, every seam in palace life threatens to unravel. You could almost hear the gasp ripple through Kensington's limestone halls when word spread that Tash, just 37 and seemingly welded to Catherine's side, had handed in her notice to form a private consultancy. Courtiers blinked in disbelief. How do you replace the human Swiss Army knife who kept Catherine flawless through 3 pregnancies, countless world tours, and a life-altering cancer battle? Tash's royal odyssey began in 2010, when William and Catherine, still basking in newlywed glow, needed a personal assistant with nerves of steel and the discretion of a monastery. What they got was far more. Over the years she became the invisible air traffic controller of Catherine's existence, choosing gowns for gala dinners in Bhutan, tilting a hat just so before a Commonwealth Day service, jotting emergency jokes on cue cards for a nervous first speech in Malaysia, and yes, even sneaking maternity pillows into motorcades, so the Duchess could nap between engagements. The public never saw those details, but Catherine felt them in every deep, steadying breath taken before camera's word. Insiders swear Tash's departure is all hugs, handwritten cards, and grateful tears. Yet sources describe a lump in Catherine's throat so heavy she struggled to film the family's end-of-term video message for George's classmates. For Catherine, losing Tash isn't like changing assistants. It's like losing the mirror that quietly whispered, "You've got this," every time doubt flickered. Remember the electrifying moment outside the Lindo wing in 2013. Catherine stepped onto the steps holding newborn Prince George, her hair impossibly glossy, her cornflower blue Jenny Packham dress echoing Diana's own polka dot debut. That emotional masterstroke, soft pastel to soothe the nation, silhouette to flatter a post-baby figure, subtle tribute to William's mother, was orchestrated by Tash in a hospital corridor filled with anxious doctors and clicking shutters. She ironed the sash herself, pinned the pleats, and wiped concealer marks off the car seat moments before the couple emerged. Millions swooned. Only Catherine turned and mouthed, "Thank you," to the figure hiding behind the revolving door. And when, a decade later, Catherine faced major abdominal surgery, a health scare so serious the palace tightened its grip on every detail, it was Tash who snuck into the back lift of the clinic at dawn, carting away bouquets bigger than Buckingham's thrones and delivering handwritten notes from schoolchildren to the princess's bedside. In the darkest moments, Tash was the lighthouse guiding Catherine back to confidence. Why step away now? Friends say motherhood has redrawn Tash's priorities. She and royal photographer husband Chris Jackson juggle 2 toddlers, and after a decade of 4 a.m. suitcase packing for globetrotting tours, she craves slower mornings and school-run giggles. Yet some palace insiders whisper of deeper motivations, a desire to control her creative destiny, to advise fashion houses and emerging royals alike without the suffocating protocol of court life. Her new consultancy, we're told, already boasts a client waiting list longer than a coronation procession. Still, imaginations run wild. Will Tash's exit leave Catherine exposed to stylistic missteps? Who will pin the poppy precisely over her heart at Remembrance Sunday? Who will slip emergency flats into the motorcade for those marathon walkabouts? Who will sense, with telepathic speed, when Catherine needs 3 extra seconds before facing a firing line of photographers? Courtiers admit quietly that finding another Tash borders on impossible. The timing stings. Catherine is only months into rebuilding her public schedule post-treatment, still gauging stamina and shielding her children from whispers. Aides are reshuffling diaries, trimming overseas commitments, and ensuring the princess's luminous smile masks any lingering fatigue. Without Tash's sixth sense, her uncanny ability to read Catherine's shoulders and know whether to fetch mint tea, a clutch change, or a one-liner to break the tension, Kensington's whole rhythm must adjust. But make no mistake, Tash leaves a legacy stitched into every pleat of Catherine's style evolution. Remember that crimson preen dress in Canada, the one that sold out worldwide in 43 minutes. Tash. The ice blue Catherine Walker coat that made Parisian editors gasp at Hotel des Invalides. Tash. The bold emerald Jenny Packham gown that reframed sustainable fashion on the Caribbean tour. Also Tash. She didn't just choose garments, she sculpted a visual language of modern royalty, approachable, unflappable, subtly strategic. Even on her rare personal outing to Royal Ascot last month, Tash bid an unspoken farewell in a black and white Alessandra rich polka dot dress, echoing Catherine's own Derby Day look and nodding to the playful heritage of Princess Diana. Observers now interpret that ensemble as a love letter to the princess she served, classic, feminine, resolutely contemporary. Catherine's circle feels smaller tonight. Her hairstylist, her makeup artist, and her longtime protection officer will close ranks, but the heartbeat behind the wardrobe door falls silent. William, insiders say, has already penned a private commendation citing Tash's unparalleled devotion to the well-being of my wife. Rumor hints Catherine will nominate her friend for a second Royal Victorian Order bar, rare recognition granted solely by a royal hand. So, what next? Sources confirm interviews have begun for a successor, but the Princess of Wales prefers to trial candidates quietly on low-key visits, no splashy announcements, just observation. Palace gossip suggests a shortlist that includes a Vogue accessories editor versed in sustainable brands, a veteran dresser from the Queen's own wardrobe room, and, astonishingly, a former ballerina turned image consultant known for ergonomic shoe design. Whoever inherits the role must navigate fashion diplomacy, schedule logistics, and emotional intuition with spy-level secrecy. Meanwhile, Tash's consultancy is poised for liftoff. Fashion houses crave her insight into royal-appropriate tailoring, philanthropies want her to stage spotlight-grabbing galas, minor royals and Hollywood A-listers covet the Archer touch. Don't be surprised if you soon see her backstage, at the Met Gala zipping a duchess into a daring yet dignified creation, or advising an overseas princess on how to blend cultural embroidery with red carpet glamour. For William and Catherine, the goodbye is bittersweet. They've watched staff come and go, but few carved a space so personal, so irreplaceable. As Catherine eases back into duty, perhaps her first public outing beside King Charles at Remembrance Sunday, maybe a resonant speech on early childhood, watch her eyes. If she glances briefly offstage before stepping forward, she might be searching for the reassuring nod Tash always offered. And in that fleeting vulnerability, we will glimpse the cost of royalty, that every polished appearance rests on unseen friendships, fragile yet profound. To the world, Natasha Archer fades into consultancy life. To Catherine, she will remain the whisper behind every Windsor triumph, the steady hands behind every tiara tilt, the friend who turned nerves into poise and adversity into quiet radiance. Palace eras rarely end with palace fanfare. They conclude with a soft closing door, a lingering hug in a candlelit corridor, and a heartfelt, "Thank you, darling. See you soon." So raise your teacup to Tash, the silent architect of a modern princess's confidence. And remember, whenever Catherine steps into the spotlight, with that unmistakable blend of queenly grace and girl-next-door warmth, a trace of her trusted friend's invisible artistry will still gleam in every stitch.